Can you please introduce yourself to all the Korean CEOs and managers?
Well, I'm owner of a company, a global company actually, in the training and development industry. And we specialize in things like people skills and how to be an effective individual so that you can both be happy in your career, but also have the skills to improve your career and your performance. And over the years, we've developed in about 70 countries. So we have partners. Some of our programs are in 38 different languages. And we've also been able to have programs that are culturally adapted and in the local language delivered by local trainers and consultants. Many of our programs are used both in consulting and training.
So what are the current issues in business trends nowadays?
So of course the one thing is we've just finished with the pandemic. So one of the big issues for people is how to communicate in what I call a hybrid world, because part of the time people are working from home a lot, and sometimes they're in the office. So how does the dynamics of work are changing? Dynamics of work. So that's a big issue. And how to manage your career is a big issue too, especially for young people. So I think that and coaching are probably the two most important trends at the moment.
So also in Korea, it's currently entering the era of individual performance management, also known as DRI, directly responsible individual. More and more companies are focusing on one-on-one sessions and individual management meetings. Yeah. So what do you think about this trend?
I think the issue here is how do you talk to the other person? How do you cooperate? How do you build trust with that person? We did training for a Japan airline system, 1,600 pilots. I was called cockpit crew management, so that the pilot and the co-pilot would have a better chance to communicate effectively. The pilot would trust some of the judgments of the co-pilot. The result was there's been no crashes, I guess you could say. So.
Right.
A cooperative culture is much stronger than a competitive one is in companies or between companies.
The current trend emphasizes on individual goals and demonstrated accountability. So in the midst of these changes in performance management, how do you foresee Korea adapting and evolving its performance management approach?
You know, Korea has a very strong work culture. Issue is how to focus on each individual, what they need to hear from the manager in order to be see that their needs are being met in the job, get coaching for those, and also psychological safety, so that they understand that it's okay to say what they need to say and it won't be held against them. And there's lots of courses, but about improving managerial performance and how they should address the workers that they're managing. And that takes both training and application of the training and good coaching skills the company should provide for the managers.
The difficulty faced by many managers in Korean startups and small businesses, they often lack of expertise in conducting one-on-one sessions or individual meetings. So how can they begin to address this challenge?
You can't expect people who, especially in smaller companies, to have these kind of skills. They're usually very active in trying to create their business, but as the business grows, they need to adapt different behavior. You need to change with the business and do things differently. Otherwise, it handicaps the business. they should work with management companies like yours.
Right, that's true.
And like ours.
Or Persona or guidance consulting.
Yeah, so that would be a really good first step because you bring the skills that need to be transferred to the manager. The quickest step is to contact companies like you, yours and ours, and try and identify what the current most important needs are and to start. The quick trick is to start doing something. Mm-hmm. Don't wait till you've grown too big and it's too much of an effort. Start somewhere. Yeah, start with a project or start with a workshop. Don't just say you're responsible for doing this. Go do it. Have the skills to help the person. Have the skills to help the person be accountable, not just responsible.
So for the final question,
okay.
Yes. So do you have any words of encouragement to give the CEOs in Korea?
A lot of Korean companies are very famous around the world. A lot of Korean, I assume, CEOs work very hard. Sometimes you have to listen and take a look at what's going on around you. And sometimes you have to think about the people who are working for you, making their life more rewarding, so that if you do that, they're certainly going to be more dedicated and be more work harder in reality than if you just tell them what to do. So use your people skills, learn some people skills. Say, listen. Well, everybody has 2 ears and 1 mouth. And use them proportionately. Listen, sometimes if you run too fast, you fall over. So it's better, I use the analogy of the rabbit. You may know this from fairy tale story.
Yes.
Child and the rabbit and the turtle.
Yes.
Sometimes the turtle gets there faster than the rabbit because the turtle keeps walking along. All right, doesn't trip. Doesn't make too many mistakes. So that's what I would say. Listen, explore, go after results.
Listen, I think that's the one of the messages that a lot of Korean CEOs and managers